I made a video there last week and I published it on YouTube and Facebook and TikTok and elsewhere, and it's to do with a couple who are challenging Pepper's right to charge them what they believe is an unfair interest rate of 8.5%, because originally the couple borrowed the money from Permanent TSB, and Permanent TSB sold the loan or sold the mortgage or charge to Pepper, and Pepper are charging something like 8.5%, which the couple are arguing in the High Court, are going to argue anyway as part of the case, that that's unconscionable and unfair and so on, and a breach essentially of their original contract with Permanent TSB, and they're arguing that they should be charged the rate that Permanent TSB are charging at the moment, because they originally borrowed the money from Permanent TSB. But a lot of people have asked the question or have expressed surprise about the sale of the mortgage, sale of the charge by Permanent TSB from Pepper in circumstances where the couple may not have been. I'm not sure exactly what the situation was, but I'm not sure that they were in arrears. I think they were actually making payments and so on, but and making payments on time. But the problem now is that with this, what they believe is an exorbitant interest rate, they're going to be in difficulty because the increase in their payments is going to be very, very significant. So that is their case, that's their argument in the High Court, and everybody, or a lot of people, are very anxious to see how the case turns out, and a lot of people will have had dealings with Pepper, and their loans may be with Pepper as well. But this video is about the right of the bank, for example, Permanent TSB or AIB or Ulster Bank when they were here, or Bank of Ireland or whoever, to actually sell your loan. And the legal position is the bank has the right to sell your loan, and you give the bank the right to sell your loan when you sign up for your loan. This is you'll see here, it is the Banking and Payments Federation of Ireland General Housing Loan Mortgage Conditions. And this one is for the Bank of Ireland, but it's exactly the same as the one that's on the Permanent TSB loan pack. And if we take a look at section 23.2, which I've highlighted there in green, 23.2 is entitled Secured Party stroke any associate may dispose and deal. The mortgagor, that's the borrower, hereby irrevocably and unconditionally agrees that the secured party, that's the lender, and each associate may, without the need for any further consent from or notice to the mortgagor, assign, transfer, mortgage, charge, submortgage, subcharge, declare a trust over, or otherwise grant interest in, or dispose of, or otherwise vest in any person the whole or any part of the benefit of the secured liabilities, the mortgage, any other related security, and these conditions, and the whole or any part of its interest, rights, and or obligations in, under, over, and to the secured liabilities, the mortgage, any other related security, and these conditions. So that gives express right to the lender to sell or transfer or deal with the loan, the charge, the mortgage, and it's set out in 23.2 of the Banking and Payments Federation of Ireland General Housing Loan Mortgage Conditions. That one is for the Bank of Ireland. This one is for Permanent TSB, but it's precisely the same document. It's the same document, as you can see there in the front. It says Banking and Payments Federation of Ireland General Housing Loan Mortgage Conditions. And AIB mortgage conditions, then, they have their own blue version here, and in it they also make provision for the right to transfer or sell or assign mortgages, because you'll see here highlighted 13.6, it says the mortgagor, and that's the borrower, hereby irrevocably and unconditionally consents to the lender or either of them at any time or times hereafter transferring, assigning, disposing or submortgaging or subcharging the benefit of the mortgage and any collateral or ancillary security, etc., etc. And then in the next section 13.7 it says the mortgagor hereby irrevocably and unconditionally consents to the inclusion of the mortgage in a mortgage pool. In other words, if the bank, AIB, are going to sell off a pool of mortgages, a securitization job, sell a bunch of loans off to somebody else like Pepper or whoever, some mortgage service provider or whatever they might be called, some people call them vulture funds, the conditions of the loan that a person signs up for, they are incorporated into the acceptance of the loan offer, and in the conditions, as you can see there, and the Standard Banking and Payments Federation of Ireland General Housing Loan Mortgage Conditions make provision for the lender to transfer or assign or deal with or do anything they like, quite frankly, with the charge or mortgage when they loan the money to you. So that is the legal position. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's moral. I'm not saying all sorts of issues don't flow from it. But I am saying that that's actually what you as a borrower sign up for when you do sign up. And that's why there's no difficulty, in my view, with Permanent TSB having sold this loan to Pepper in this particular case. But it will be interesting to see what the High Court has to say, what view it takes on the question of what's fair in terms of an interest rate charge. In other words, the couple are arguing that the rate being charged is basically unfair, it's unconscionable, it cannot be justified in the context of 8.5% being charged by Pepper and perhaps 4.5% being charged by Permanent TSB. And remember, the couple borrowed from Permanent TSB in the first instance, but as I say, when they did borrow from Permanent TSB, they signed up for or gave consent to, express consent to the bank to transfer or sell their loan. Hope you find this video useful. If you do, I'd appreciate, if you're watching it on YouTube, to give it the thumbs up down below, and you may be interested in subscribing to my YouTube channel. And if you're listening to this on my podcast, the Irish Law and Small Business Podcast, on Spotify or iTunes or wherever you might listen to podcasts, you might leave a review for me. Thanks a lot.